Hi, my name is Brinkley Warren, and I am the most popular artist and the author of the brand new book Outer Space Inside, which is available for free. This book is actually part of the most valuable artwork and the most valuable art exhibition in human history. In the book, you can read about this historic moonshot project that I've spent the last 14 years working on. My partner and I have successfully and legally claimed all outer space property and mineral rights in the entire universe, and we've done so under supervision from the State Department in accordance with Article 6 of the Outer Space Treaty and all international laws. This is the first time that anything this bold and crazy has been done when it comes to outer space property rights, and now we are giving away space claims for free and selling them on the blockchain as art in order to produce massive positive impact that helps humanity to achieve the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals. All of this project is available at SpaceClaims.org, where you can engage with the art project, you can purchase space claims, you can claim a free space claim and dedicate it to one of the Sustainable Development Goals, and of course you can download the free book as well. SpaceClaims.org is the only legal source to purchase star and asteroid claims. And for the first time in history, we the peoples of the world can now give, receive, buy, sell, and invest in legally valid and authenticated outer space property and mineral rights claims, bringing online the limitless resources of outer space resource utilization, and also bringing human rights, including property rights, into the final frontiers for the first time. And in addition, by engaging with this project, you will be helping to produce the most participatory art project in human history and also the most valuable work of art in human history. And if you go to spaceclaims.org currently during this pre-sale event, you will be able to dedicate a free star claim, and that star claim will help humanity to achieve the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So you get to select which of those goals you would like your star claim to be pledged towards. And you can also purchase your own star or asteroid claims, and those claims, will belong to you, and you'll be able to actually have the deed legally authenticated and be able to pass that deed down to future generations. The entire point of this project is to inspire humanity to reach for the stars and then use this potential to fuel Spaceship Earth and produce positive impact for Spaceship Earth. Spaceship Earth is a worldview term that really expresses concern over the use of the limited resources that we have available here on Earth, but it also encourages everyone to act in a harmonious way, sort of like a spaceship crew, all of us working towards the greater good and overcoming the limited resources that we do have available through things like exponentially advancing technologies to make wiser use of the resources that we have and to bring humanity into a place of abundance as opposed to a place of lack. And so I do encourage you to visit spaceclaims.org and download the book, and please engage with this project. Would really appreciate it, and together we can make the world a much better and more interesting and creative place. The cool thing about this entire project is that the end result will actually be a people-powered supercomputer that comes from the SpaceClaims Blockchain Platform, and then this supercomputer can then be put to use for positive impact for Spaceship Earth. As I mentioned, this entire project is designed as a moonshot project for the Sustainable Development Goals, which you see on this slide. Things like ending poverty, gender equality, and finally taking an inclusive stand against climate change. So the UN's agenda for 2030 set forth 17 very ambitious Sustainable Development Goals, but experts estimate that it's going to cost more than $50 trillion to achieve these goals. And so the Secretary General of the UN has been inspiring and telling artists and social entrepreneurs around the world that we need to take action and we need to apply transformative technologies that empower individuals to work together towards achieving these noble goals. And so this project, spaceclaims.org, the SpaceClaims Blockchain Platform, and this art project, Outer Space Inside, all of this is meant as a moonshot project to help humanity to achieve these laudable goals. So with many blockchain projects and pre-sales such as Bitcoin or Ethereum or others, the way those projects typically launch is, there's a white paper that kind of lays out the vision of the project. And so instead of doing a white paper, I actually just wrote an entire book. If you download this free book, you can of course read about the blueprints and the development plans for the SpaceClaims Blockchain Platform. You can also dig into the legal documentation, including case docket numbers and other open records request numbers. You can also read about the legal aspects of this and why it took us 14 years to accomplish, bouncing around from agencies such as NASA and OSAT and the Bureau of Oceans and the Justice Department and the State Department, etc. And then finally, how we were able to actually authenticate a claim that gives us the rights to all outer space property and mineral rights in the entire universe, and with the explicit and exclusive right to make claims available to the public using any commercial exchange structure of our choosing, and doing all of that under the supervision of the State Department in accordance with Article 6 of the Outer Space Treaty and in accordance with all domestic and international laws. And in addition to that, you can also read multiple chapters about how this project is situated within art history. This truly is an art project, everything from the appropriation of space, and so claiming space, to now creating this perpetual art machine on the backbone of the SpaceClaims Blockchain Platform. So I do encourage you to read the book, and that'll also have other ways for you to engage further in the project. I think you'll also be inspired by this story, because really this is the story of two dudes, one of us who comes from a legal and policy background, and then myself coming more from an art and entrepreneurship background. We went to high school together, and over the course of 14 years working behind the scenes, we've been able to make this project happen, persisting through. And so it's an inspirational story about how, if you continue to chase after incredibly bold and audacious projects, ultimately you can, get them to the finish line. And so hopefully it's an inspiring story for other artists and entrepreneurs out there. A major aspect of this, obviously some of you are probably already questioning, how did we actually do this legally? And I do encourage you to read the book, but basically the foundational document is something that we call the metaclaim. The metaclaim is essentially a certified and authenticated document. So it means that it's been authenticated by the State Department for legal use abroad. It's the highest certification that a legal document can actually achieve in the United States. It's also got the ink signatures of the Secretary of State, the Attorney General, and we've actually done this during the last 3 Secretaries of State from both political parties. And so the body of work is actually about 10 years old. It's not like this is a fluke or in any way partisan. This document was achieved because of the way that domestic and international law is set up. And so this means that our claim and the contents of our claim are now on file with the National Archives. It's an unprecedented legal document, really. Includes the Great Seal of the United States. All of these things would never have been done by the government or these agencies if at any point they were considered to be, incredibly liberal interpretations of international law or anything like that. The United States interpreted the international law in the same way that any other country or states party to international treaties would also interpret the law. I do encourage you to read the book and learn more about how we went through this process, why it took us 14 years to figure it out. Especially if you're a policy or a legal person, you'll find that quite interesting. So without getting into too much detail about it, you can read more in the book, but essentially international space law is governed primarily by the Outer Space Treaty of 1967, which actually prevents any government or intergovernmental body from regulating or doing any kind of national appropriation of outer space property or mineral rights. And in addition, it requires that all states parties to the treaty are responsible for supervising the activities of natural persons within their jurisdiction. And so, unlike other treaties, for instance, the Law of the Sea Treaty, which prevents individuals from making property or mineral rights claims in the deep seabed, the Outer Space Treaty actually does not include any of that language. And so it does leave the door open for individual property rights claims, which makes a lot of sense because of the Declaration of Human Rights. And so, of course, human rights include property rights, and the Declaration of Human Rights says that all beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. And of course, property rights are one of the most foundational elements to any sort of free person. And so when it comes to human rights, it's very important to note that property rights are one of the most important rights that any individual can have as a human. Article 17 of the Declaration of Human Rights specifically states that everyone has the right to own property alone as well as in association with others, and that no one shall be arbitrarily deprived of property. Because this entire project is situated as the most valuable work of art in history and hopefully the most participatory artwork in history, we have further protection under the Declaration of Human Rights and also the Bill of Rights in the United States, which protects freedom of expression and inclusive of creative expression. And so in the Declaration of Human Rights, it actually says that, everyone has the right to freedom of expression, and that this right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference and to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas through any media and regardless of frontiers. And so it's important to note that the claim that we have is sacrosanct in terms of not only from a legal point of view, but also a creative point of view and also economic point of view. And so you can read more about this in the book. It's very important to me that we remember that this entire project really is framed as an incredibly audacious and bold art project, which is called Outer Space Inside, and this is also the name of the book. But it's been designed to, produce positive impact and to help progress the human condition by reorienting humanity to a thriving spaceship Earth, by reorienting ourselves and our relationships with inner space, with outer space, and everywhere in between. And I do encourage you to read the book to learn more about all of the thought and sort of creative detail that has gone into this project. So ultimately, what this project is doing is it's democratizing outer space for the advancement of mankind using a perpetual art machine that's called the sociocosmograph. The sociocosmograph, you can imagine it being like the Facebook graph, except connected to the biggest star atlas in the universe. And so imagine what happens when individuals start being associated with objects in outer space. That's really what the sociocosmograph is imagined to be. And the entire purpose of this is then to, sort of use this ecosystem and all the data that is continually produced by the system in order to fuel more art projects that serve as positive impact into the future. The sociocosmograph really is going to be a people-powered supercomputer in the same way that Bitcoin or Ethereum or any of these blockchain or distributed computing projects are. The key thing about blockchain is really that it's decentralized. And so this project is definitely one of inclusion, and it's one of decentralization. The law sets it up perfectly for that because the law says that there can be no centralized governance or control or sovereignty, national sovereignty, I mean. And so imagine a future where, the people as individuals are actually self-regulating and working together, and for the first time that's possible because of blockchain technologies. Imagine a future where we're able to actually crowdfund asteroid mining missions, where we're able to upload our own constellations and our own mythologies into the night skies. And really the entire purpose of the project is, for people to get more connected with outer space, for people to get more connected with their inner space and kind of, recognize that spaceship Earth is borderless and that we are, literally a pale blue dot floating out on the vast cosmic ocean. And that we have to work together and we have to overcome our differences to imagine a better future. And we have to work together to, overcome these global grand challenges that we're facing. So that's really, really important aspect of this entire thing, and it's what makes it a moonshot project for Spaceship Earth. So Outer Space Inside, the art exhibition, the artwork is, already valued as the most valuable artwork ever created. And that's because, it includes all of outer space property and mineral rights, which are quite valuable. And so, inclusive in the work are over 600,000 near-Earth asteroids, currently valued at more than 600 quadrillion US dollars, and that's probably on the low end of valuation. And so when you consider, that all space minerals and objects are included in the art exhibition, in the artwork, in the art auction, then it gets really interesting from a creative and sort of art history point of view. And it's something that I hope that hope that you like and that you're willing to, participate in and sort of become a part of history in the process. And so what's fascinating is the use of this exponentially advancing technology known as the blockchain. You can read more about the blockchain in the book and sort of how this technology is related. For those of you who have, know nothing about Bitcoin or blockchain, then, some of this might go a bit into too much detail, but I would encourage you to look more into it. But basically, the SpaceClaims Blockchain Platform is a new cryptocurrency system for smart property and mineral rights deeds for all outer space property and mineral rights in the entire universe. So what we're doing is we're creating a real estate platform which provides an immutable public registry that allows for frictionless transfer of property deeds for outer space, as well as asteroid mining licenses. And all of this is cryptographically secured through this immutable decentralized ledger, which then runs on a geo-distributed computing grid. So in this way, we're able to trace title history and also reputation, but we're able to do so in an incredibly secure fashion. And so it's important to sort of point out why this is important, and it's because centralized power has always been known to corrupt, right? And so whenever there's just a single agency or a single bank or something like that that's in charge as the middleman over all of outer space property rights, that is when things can get really bad. So the beauty of this project is decentralization. It's democratizing all of outer space as opposed to sort of keeping it under the purview of a single government or a single agency or something like that. Digital immutability, the technology behind blockchain, is great because it allows for history to be written in real time. So in the past, people would say it's been written in stone. The way that we would update that now is we would say, well, it's been written on the blockchain. And so the project, because of all this, it allows for borderless, free participation. It's a way to sort of guarantee truth and verify data and the notarization and transfer of property deeds, and doing so in a way that avoids compromising the title or the deed to any property or mineral rights in outer space, while also avoiding kind of elite power structures using this distributed verification system. For those of you who are familiar with SETI at home from the 90s, imagine something like that, except with even more incentivization, because people could actually own stars and asteroid claims for the first time legally. The entire platform is designed for peace, prosperity, and planet for everyone. And the purpose of this pre-sale, which is going on now, is literally to get the SpaceClaims blockchain platform up and running. So similar to the way that Ethereum and other cryptocurrency or crowdfunding sales have been structured, in the same way with this project, the pre-sale includes cryptographic tokens, which are called SpaceClaims tokens, which do entitle paying patrons to the benefits of the platform, as well as exclusive early access to SpaceClaims at highly reduced costs. And so because this is an art project, there's a bit of a twist, which is that SpaceClaim tokens are integrated into unique works of art. And so the tokens, either star claims tokens or asteroid claim tokens, can be purchased now. There's only 1 million of them available for personal purchase during the pre-sale. So I would encourage you to get them while you can if you're interested. And not only are you going to be one of the first people in history to own SpaceClaim legally, you're also going to get early access to the entire SpaceClaims blockchain platform, and you're going to receive a unique work of art, which ultimately could become even more valuable in the short term than the actual space property claims that are integrated into the art object. So when it comes to innovation and how we're applying blockchain technologies, I would say that it comes down to these two areas, art and real estate. And really, art is the final frontier in that it's the only unregulated industry that's left on the planet that's as big as it is. It's amazing to think that you need a paper deed to purchase a used car or a house. But if you're going to invest in a $5 million work of art, you don't need any kind of deed, no certificate, no title, no authentication. So blockchain really has a lot to offer when it comes to art. And it was really surprising for me when I learned that most crimes in the world, so right after drugs and guns, is actually art. And according to the US Department of Justice and UNESCO, art is the highest grossing criminal trade and has been over the last 40 years. And so it's a huge criminal enterprise and represents a lot of criminal activity globally. And in fact, Art News, which is the world's most widely circulated art magazine, estimates that annual private art sales are over $30 billion per year. And the FBI actually says that art crime accounts to more than $8 billion per year. So the blockchain has a lot to offer when it comes to authenticating unique works of art, as is the case in this project. The end result of all of this is this perpetual art machine, and really it's this entire SpaceClaims economy. And so at the center of it, of course, is the SpaceClaims Blockchain Platform and this authenticated universal deeds registry for all outer space property and mineral rights, which we're now opening up and putting online and making it publicly available for the first time. So the funds and the resources that get catalyzed from this actually then get put to use, generating positive impact, funding projects that are helping humanity to achieve these 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And really there's a lot of fascinating psychological impacts of this, which I hope will become resonant. So for instance, this system is designed to accelerate transpersonal behavioral change. And what I mean by that is that it inspires and rewards people for moving beyond the limited boundaries of our ego to access an enhanced capacity for wisdom and creativity and collaboration, cooperation, compassion, and unconditional love. And it also helps to sort of erase boundaries and territories that, artificially separate humans from other humans. It's also expanding access to the arts. The project expands engagement with the Sustainable Development Goals and saving Spaceship Earth. And it expands engagement with the new space economy and also with blockchain technologies. And so, although not everybody, really is going to go invest in Bitcoin or own a Bitcoin, now everybody can go claim a free star. And so, hopefully, that'll get people more engaged in these transformative technologies that are helping to democratize the future of the planet. To serve as a steward for the project, and it's important to point out, it's not like, myself or my partner are just claiming all of outer space for ourselves. The idea really is to democratize space and to open this up for everyone. So to help do that, we created an NGO, which is called the United SpaceClaims Institute. And really the purpose of this institute is to ensure the protocol for the SpaceClaims blockchain platform, to ensure that the resources are being used in relevant and positive ways and in a transparent manner, and also to generally inspire humanity to reach for the stars and then use this potential to fuel a more thriving Spaceship Earth. And so the United SpaceClaims Institute is all about the safe and equitable use and stewardship of space resources, space technologies that are going to help benefit all of humanity and really sort of get humanity used to the notion that we are going to be a multi-planetary species. And what does that mean? And how do we ensure that human rights are guaranteed in the cosmos in the final frontiers? The mission of this organization is to democratize outer space. It's to ensure a secure, a permanent, decentralized, trustworthy, universal deeds registry for the benefit of all of mankind, including current and future generations, and making sure that we're channeling the resources that are generated from this platform into global great works projects that benefit a thriving Spaceship Earth. The vision is to make outer space innovation and discovery the world's most meaningful transcultural mythology. So aiming the mythology of positive outer space themes towards peace, mutual thriving, innovation, transcendence, and prosperity for all. So during the pre-sale that's going on now, I would encourage everybody to please participate, and let's help kickstart this project and get it on the fast track to producing massive positive impact. I do believe that together we can all reach for the stars And this potential of humanity to reach for the stars is what will allow us to really fuel Spaceship Earth and create a more thriving Spaceship Earth for all. In the words of Buckminster Fuller, whether humanity is to continue and comprehensively prosper on Spaceship Earth depends entirely on the integrity of the human individuals and not on political and economic systems. And this belief is certainly relevant for this project. It's time to reorient ourselves to space. The power of outer space to spark the human imagination is universal and undeniable. Whether it's the SpaceX rocket making a safe landing for the first time, or whether it's the Mars rover touching down, or whether it's Felix doing the first space skydive, we're all watching these historical moments transfixed about the story and the impact of what's going on and how amazing humanity is. We're lured not only by the mystery of going where no human has gone before, but we're also lured by the ability of humanity to boldly go in the first place. Space missions are never lone endeavors. In fact, they are massive operations that require the world's top scientists, engineers, operators, creative problem solvers. And the spectacle of space missions really unite us. It unites humanity and it promotes peaceful and meaningful collaboration and cooperation. The ironic thing is that these bold endeavors serve to remind us that there is another final frontier besides outer space, and that is the collective human potential. When humanity reaches for the stars, then we're able to make the impossible possible. This is why all of us are transfixed by these amazing moments related to outer space. The cosmic embrace is not only about outer engineering, but it's also about our collective inner engineering. The will of mankind to overcome our differences and work together to achieve greatness is what is truly magical and powerful about the lure of outer space. The great thing is that space is infinitely abundant. What began as a government-sponsored space race has now become a commercial gold rush, with a who's who of the world's boldest and brightest captains of industry all shooting for the stars. With commercial spaceflight, we're already seeing the impact of a more entrepreneurial approach, and we are seeing new concepts for the utilization of space technologies, new private investments in space assets, new commercial launch capabilities, and entirely new paradigms for humanity's relationship with outer space. Elon Musk and SpaceX, they're going to take us to Mars. Peter Diamandis and Planetary Resources are going to go help us mine asteroids. Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic is the first spaceline tourism company. Jeff Bezos, Blue Origin, is making spaceflight technologies more accessible. The age of the new space economy is dawning. There are trillions of dollars to be made in space mining and countless new inventions and discoveries waiting to be unveiled. Commercial space exploration, asteroid mining, space resource utilization, commercial space development, they're opening up new possibilities in the modern economy and opening up consciousness of our global zeitgeist. The collective potential and exponentially advancing technologies that we are dealing with now are being applied to transform our future for the better. The result is a democratization of outer space. For the first time, it's possible for kids to grow up knowing that one day, if they really want to, they can skydive from outer space, or go to Mars, or go to asteroids. For STEAM education initiatives, there's no better motivator than the magic and lure of outer space. And with the new space economy unfolding before our eyes, the message is clear. Cosmonauts are wanted. That's what this entire project is all about. Everybody can now have a sense of ownership over the stars and asteroids above. And this is a universal embrace open to everybody who's on the planet. Behold Spaceship Earth. This is our small global village, upon which everything else depends. It must be recognized that with all of the progress we've made here on Spaceship Earth, the spaceship itself is hurting, and we have to figure out how to become more in harmony with it and fix the damage that's already been done. The solutions that we come up with need to balance social impact, environmental impact, and economic impact. This is really the reasoning behind the 17 Sustainable Development Goals that the leaders of the world got together and were able to move forward. It's goals like ending poverty, achieving gender equality, ensuring access to affordable and sustainable modern energy for everyone on the planet, as well as taking urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts, and also protecting and restoring the ecosystems upon which everything on the planet depends. You know, the Sustainable Development Goal rankings came out for the first time. This is the first year that these results have been released. This was really inspirational for me to realize that the United States is not even in the top 15 or the top 20. And I believe as a United States citizen that we need to be doing a lot more. And in fact, we should be the ones who are leading the charge towards achieving these 17 Sustainable Development Goals. What's certain is that I do believe that together we can achieve these laudable goals if we work together with an open mind and an open heart. And really, I think that there's a sustainable development goal that everybody can connect with. And if each of us connects to the cause that we're most passionate about, we can work together. And this collective potential is actually what's going to end up saving Spaceship Earth. We do need leaders. We need people who are vocal, who believe in the planet, and who believe in social impact for positive change. We need anybody who believes in these things to step up and participate. And really, that's a major aspect of this entire project with SpaceClaims.org, is to become a platform for positive change in a way that sort of gives a platform to legends, the new legends of our generation, the social entrepreneurs, the artists, and the activists who are helping to produce a brighter future for everyone. So I went to Singularity University, which is a great institution here in Silicon Valley, dedicated towards solving these global grand challenges that humanity is facing. My approach was to take one of these global grand challenges, which is outer space, and then to use it in order to empower solutions for all of the other global grand challenges that we're facing. And this is what that might look like. I see that the Sustainable Development Goals are very related to all of these global grand challenges that humanity is facing. And I believe that the power of space can be tapped into and used to help humanity to solve all of these other challenges that we're facing. By participating in this project, not only are you going to be one of the first to be able to invest in asteroid mining and own your own star, but you're also going to be investing in a better and brighter future, and you're going to be investing in solutions that address these global grand challenges. It's time to reorient our relationship to Spaceship Earth. I believe that we can do that. This entire project and the SpaceClaims Blockchain Platform and SpaceClaims.org is designed to reorient our relationship to each other, to our inner space, to our outer space, and everywhere in between. I believe that if we work together, we can light up the world and make it a better place to be in the future. In the words of Michelangelo, a true work of art is but a shadow of the divine perfection. This is certainly the case with this project, and I really hope that you are interested in participating further. You can claim free stars, and doing so is going to help make the world a better place. I encourage you to invest in space claims today, to become a part of art history and also history in general, to become one of the first people ever to own and invest in outer space property and mineral rights, and also to help launch what I hope will be a transformative technology platform that makes use of blockchain technologies in order to create a people-powered supercomputer for Spaceship Earth. And finally, I would like to leave you with this. Certainly over the last 14 years working on this project, at the beginning I never thought it would be possible to own all of outer space property and mineral rights in the entire universe and be humbled and lucky enough to be able to help democratize all of outer space for future generations. And what I've learned is that everything is indeed possible, and if we are persistent about living the change that we wish to see in the world, then it's likely to happen. Space already belongs to all of us. And for the first time now, you can actually own some of it. I do encourage you to participate, and I'm so grateful and thankful for watching this video and for engaging with the project. I'll see you at spaceclaims.org, and if you're interested, you can also check out this other video, which includes about a 40-minute conversation between the most popular artist and the curator of the Computer History Museum that gets more into the background of the project and also a lot of the creative and artistic elements that are a part of the project.